Yatakasho rishikesho nanopadigato vibuhu tadbhedat bhinnavad bhati tannashe kevalo bhavet. Yata, just as, akashaha, space, rishikeshaha, the omnipresent truth, non-opādhigataha, associated with various conditionings, vibhuhu, the all-pervading, tadbhedat, on account of their upādhis manifold nature, distinct from each other. Bhinnavad bhati, appears to be diverse. Tannashe, on the destruction of these upādhis, kevalaha, one, bhavet, becomes. As both all-pervading space and the omnipresent Lord of the senses appear to be diverse because of association with different upādhis, they again become one on the upādhis destruction.
Namaste. So the diversity apparent in the manifested universe, Jagrat, meaning all these different objects, are not true. The real essence of the reality is that there is only one, Brahman, Atman, the self, and that these many various objects are simply imagined through name and form. Oh, this is clay. Oh, but this is a pot. No, there's only clay in various different forms. Or this is a necklace. Now this is a bracelet. No, there's only gold. The root substance, which is appearing temporarily in various forms. But actually, it is indivisible, like space, akasha. Akasha is one. Space is the same everywhere, uniform, and it's all pervading. So still, we make a distinction of the space inside the pot and the space outside the pot. But this is just name and form. When the pot is broken, what happens to the space inside it? It merges with the totality of space. So in the same way, there appear to be so many different creatures and objects and spaces and things and stuff, but actually there's only one root substance, Brahman. And that appears to be divided into various objects because of upādhis. Now, what is an upādhi? It's a limiting adjunct. An adjunct is something that is associated or connected with a certain object, but is actually different from that object. And in the case of upādhis, it's a limiting adjunct. It creates a limit on Brahman and makes it appear to be a living creature or a mountain or any innumerable different forms that appear in the universe. A planet, a star. These are all upādhis. Even gods like Vishnu and Brahma and Shiva are simply upādhis, but in their case it's called Ishatvam, Ishopādhi, meaning one of the gods, one of the all-pervading masters of the universe, which they have to exist so that the universe can grow and develop and continue for its duration and then be destroyed at the end. They need that all-pervasive knowledge and power. But Ordinary living creatures do not. They have jivopādhi, the very limited range of existence, knowledge, and happiness. Yet, they are all actually Brahman, but simply covered by a more or less limiting upādhi. So the Vedic literature is full of aphorisms about this truth. The one Lord is concealed in all beings. Though one, he roams in various forms. Though one, he is imagined by people variously. Atman should be realized as one alone. In Brahman, there is no diversity whatsoever. It is one alone, without a second. The soul in all is indeed one. It dwells in every being as his innermost guide. The diversity of souls is like the diversity of the reflections of the moon in the waves. It is indivisible, and yet it is, as it were, divided among beings. So this is a very nice example. The moon at night, especially the full moon, is reflected in the waves of the ocean. And if you look from the shore out toward the horizon, there appear to be many reflections in the waves, but they're all fragmentary, distorted, partial. None of them is giving the full image of the moon. Only the moon itself. The moon is one, but it is reflected in various distorted ways by the ever-moving waves of the ocean. So in the same way, although the self is one, it is reflected in various distorted and partial and fragmentary ways by the projection of imagination of the ever-moving mind, which is like the waves of the ocean. So how do we undo this flawed vision of reality? Well, first of all, we have to accept the notion, the idea, the view that Brahman is one alone, and that it only appears to be many because of the various upādhis. And when those upādhis are removed, then again Brahman is seen as one. So just like you can see the moon, the one moon, floating above the sea, by removing our gaze from the waves, making fragmentary reflections of it, up to the moon itself. So in the same way, we can remove our attention, our focus, from the objects to the root source, Brahman. Now, how do we do this? By rejection and introspection. Rejection means neti, not this, not this. Whatever comes up as a perception, that is not Brahman. So we reject one after another, whatever comes up, until there's nothing left. Then the question is, who is cognizing this nothing? And that, of course, is the self. That is Brahman. That is Atman. That is the witness. And soon Shankara will get into the various manifestations of Brahman, how to recognize it in different ways, and all of its glories and so on. And that's actually my favorite part of this book. But first he has to show what Brahman is not. And what it is not is the multifarious forms in the material creation. That it cannot be, because Brahman is one. So it's not that we should go sifting through all the different forms in the universe trying to find which one is Brahman. No, that's not going to be successful. First of all, there are too many of them. And second of all, Brahman is never perceived because it is the perceiver. So when we analyze everything until there's nothing left, he who is perceiving that nothing is Brahman. Aham brahmasmi, tattvamasi.
Om Tat Sat, Om Shakti Om.